This came up in discussion yesterday, and so I wanted to address it really quickly for the ninja leaders out there who are not beginners. I want you to take note of this because if you can master this one tip or this one skill, it's going to be such a game changer for you in your relationships with everyone whom you deal with, your kids, your spouse, your employees, your colleagues, your friends. So, my strategy that I want to say is just to stop setting boundaries. The reason for this is that, well, there's a couple of reasons. The biggest one, though, is that boundary setting, the way that most people use it today, creates more division than connection. That's the biggest thing. I mean, if you think about the definition of the word boundary, go look it up. It's a divider, it's a separation. And we've understood that a lot of wars and pain have been fought over the name of who crossed over whose boundary. And it's definitely felt. I mean, think about the last time that you had a conflict or disagreement with someone, and then they set up a boundary. How did it make you feel? Now, maybe you respected them for their strength of character or whatever, but how did it make you feel when you didn't have the say in how the relationship went forward, but you had to abide by their boundaries? Probably didn't go well. And back when I used to work with people on relationships that weren't healthy, that were toxic, and oftentimes I would ask them about how their boundary setting was going. Was it working? And usually the answer was no, it didn't work. So there's a lot of challenges with boundary setting. And then the next one that's really hard is that it's not easy. It's hard to set boundaries and then stick to them. You have, because you want to be open, you want to connect to other people, you want to feel a connection and a relationship with that person without having that wall in between you, which is the boundary. So instead of trying to set them, my recommendation is to understand them. So boundaries are actually naturally existing, right? There's naturally existing boundaries. For example, a river is a naturally existing boundary between two sections of land, right? The ocean is a naturally existing boundary between the continent and the ocean, like the beach, right? That's a natural boundary. So they do exist. You don't have to make them up. You don't have to put up walls. And so if you look at your own natural boundary, it encompasses five things: your body, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and your reactions. Okay, so those five things are what really encompass you, who you are, and what you have control over in terms of your choices and your decisions. So if these five things are inside of your natural boundary, you have that those things are your responsibility. Things that are outside of your responsibility are someone else's body, someone else's emotions, someone else's thoughts, someone else's actions and reactions. So I hope that's making sense. When you start to use this and apply this in relationships, it changes everything. Yes, you still have healthy relationships, but they're based on a completely different foundation. One that allows you to still have a healthy relationship with someone with whom you previously had a very unhealthy relationship with. And that person may not have matured much, but because you have this skill set, you are able to show up in a different way in the relationship without this drain, without the anxiety, without the stress. Okay, so I guess the only thing left for you to do is to use this. If you are interested, I have a really simple tool. It kind of explains in graphical form what I just shared verbally with you. But let me know in the comments if this resonates, if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer. It is quite a controversial topic, but it's a really powerful one. If you are going to be an up-leveling leader, if you're going to be somebody who can make a difference in difficult times, this is one of those things that will set you apart from everyone else as an employer, as a spouse, as a parent, as a friend. When you can master this skill, it's going to be game changing for you. All right. Much love.